You're listening to Bitilo with Mfali Fadera. You're listening to Bitilo with Mfali Fadera.
Assalamu alaikum badi namalalu ngali kontong ngali bismillah nda Bitilo kibaro to jangal nal badi malam Falli Fadera ngali kontong bi December karotil tangola mbenyi sango men kono be mu 2020-25 ti kontondro koladron kon dalta ka kenyame se na nga jibe ke konto kibaro la nga men soro jang katabake o koladron sinabla kacha kono kacha me alon ko ka wollel sambale nan jang Bitilo to jang bari kondal ka nyame ko nga fa nyame bari namano ke fanan nse lamay lalu jibe lalu hakilo blandi ko sako mol men yalon ko wollel be lamay ka radio to gambe banko kan kalbe moy kan Vibes FM le radio to gambe banko kan 106.1 FM mem felenti manja kunda sate ko no atol mem fanan ben jibe kan dulal to tarik ke internet auto al nim Bitilo le mu Allah al badi malum Falli Fadera sal dani pour alse subscribe na YouTube channel to analbe YouTube jibe kan nyintemmen na albe subscription botino jeleje nali o dikidoro nal subscribe ta ale belama fanam ma wato wati ning nata Bitilo to jang fa kachale mbang fa interview lembang fa documentary lembang ninga fengo fendundi doron albe kala moltif mo folol temene alon ko alba sotola so o dalilo kambala mbe menkela doron kataba kense jibe ke kunto kibarol la ngamen soto jang kibarol men yalon ko ngawolel muta kabo gambe banko kam ni o bodala doron sina bla kacha kono ngaluntan soto luntam bunyari mba luntam kumari mba anbe wo luntam wanyim falale ne nyaato do manding ate mumenti ay simfal mental balwo kono o kola nasina dum kacha kono bar kon dalta ka nyamin sa follow ka jibe ke kibarol men yalon ko nga wollel mutale kabona Gambia banko kam mba follow la men wala mo kibarti mem kibar kayto mem standard newspaper ti standard newspaper la kibar kuma follow e sembeta men la bi wala mo Gambia mansakunda ning juloti me alon kolbe Gambia mansakunda ning ka power sip tema ka power sip keta doku bundati me alon ko Turkish company lemu bari be sabatiri Gambia banko kam eto luka kurang wala wafi atale mu wodoku bundari meye kurang wafi nun Gambia mansa kundama nyin sanji lulu tambila nukono Gambia mansa kunda la minister bundame be maralin fanko ni nafulo kola e ka fe ko ministry of finance la nyaton ko mu minister of finance di ay safero kelunum wala atara député bu ngokono le ako député bu ngole ko mbeyilla kan kodo le la demar kodo membe bokan World Bank bulu on kodo bita kanyana fo dalasi dollar million tanani anin lulu ako dipito le ko nyimma ko kodo na bota World Bank bulu anata Gambia mansa kunda hamo mo menti wala mu ke muna fang atala kilin wala membita kanyana fo dollar million tang anin kononto dollar wuli keme woro ako dipito le ko la fakam muna fo wo kodo lale pour ka power jojulo membe nin ka power team birim ministre wonyon kuma kan sifa sara député bu ngokono akibaro na rafindi kibar kayto le nyuala ya kibaro nyin safe kuna take me alon ko namanaji kulemu musa fanko ko namana je Gambe banko kam Turkish embassy de ko bunda membe sirin toki man sakunda to ala nyin ka power si bota dabendo wonin ka power si fango wolu findita ye kankularo ke ka sosor ke minister la kangola ko julole be Gambia man sakunda nin ka power sip tema nyindo ko bunda flo Turkish embassy nin ka power sip balanta e ko julute to lim man sakunda tema julo membe to lim man sakunda tema e ko man sakunda o be jole serun sangola biri waki kibaro fintita a confusion na ta waram mo jamale fintita eko minister ba fono la nyaadi loko jur ko do membe boka World Bank nana tambe mbe kapa wala jola bari ngani kapa fon sudani tokis embassy wala ko julute tem adna minister of finance nata finti ko tege ka seniyandiro ke ka koyndi jama molu makko iko ha julo membe to lin kapa wa siptema wo jotale nin kumu mansakunda ye kapa wa sip jol bari ko yake nyamen wala mu ko e ko ye kodole donto ye kodo men donto kapa wa sip jo minister be wala sata kanko million tang anin kononto nyin na futatema membe bola World Bank ibadun la wallet so minister bunda nyin na senandiko ye Gambia la Central Bank le donto nun $19 million la ye wala sika ye kapa wa jo wo kapa wa sip jo membo da Central Bank bulu iko minister be wala la ko ni wo World Bank coordinator e be Central Bank jo la wala kono wala keta confusion oti wo kera fendi me alon ko adiamu na ta siya bake jaw ke online so ministre bunda nyim fango pour que la ko nyinta ka seneyandi anim fanan kam molu juslanda kodo inata kayto findindi men kera kamben kaydidi même agreement men sotata ka power sip ning central bank tema membe den ni wo kodo donto malum fo lamoy lalu album moy kande ban hello mbadi ngol ne atral album moy kande dukare alse afonye nsalon akam to kon na micro mantra nung on okay hold on.
You're listening to Bitilo with Mfali Federa. 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 You're listening to Bitilo with Mfali Federa.
Mbariŋolu ŋali konton kote ke alse hekatu wala dorong akamta ko nun na Michael Mantara ama yela nun akamta ko mol bukam moy nun wala tna nun I just wanted to make sure that lamela lingibe la album moy kanne bari ala baraka bake ngal jamal la comment sol jele kaytan dina ko album moy kanne thank you very much indeed mbe men sata kan nun wala mu kundo kibarol tinga men muta nun Gambia banko kam ngo follow men na wala mu kibarti membe dending standard juse pay kibaro men safe membe dending Gambia Masakunda ning ka power sip temola komba iten diga nyamen kibar kuma follow ni membo da standard juse be bulu wodu yeme iten ni wala mu ko iko Gambia la minister bunda membe marling fankoni nafulo ko wala membe minister of finance ti ito leli safero kenun kaitan di ko be yilla kan don makor ko do la membe bokan nun World Bank bulu membe ta kanyen na fo dollar million tanani ani lulu iko dollar million tanning konondo wuli keme woro eko ibo dun la nun ka power supply jo waketa Tokis company di membe menka courant wafi nun gambe man sakundama birim minister yo sata dibite bu konolemu Tokis embassy ni nyin ka power supply fangona ta finti waketa kudi malon kana manaji kulen ko ngafa nyame inata ka minister la kanso so ko julu man tretol ni gambe man sakunda tema nin kumu julo membe ni man sakunda tema ko wo jotale kabring serun sangola ministre bunda nyi nata wala senen ni kayta ni molla ko julo nyi to be menna wo mu menti wala mu dontrote to le menke central bank la pour ka power sibjo iko be wala senen di kanum ate nyi Tokis ning embassy ni nyi ka power sib ko be wala senen di kanum kayta ni molla ko menke ministre bunda di ko be wala senen di kanum iko julu mantre to linka pa si fango tema aketa la ko drum ye julole donto ye koro nyin donto central bank le buluka kapa sibjo iko bo nyon donto la ko ya tan nyamena kibaro fanan sana kibaro fanan me alon ko sana nyu sepa ya safe o kera kibati me alon ko abe dending alhaji mamadi kuran la o kera moti me alon ko ko nga faale nyamen na kibata bilan kono ate mu politician olti gambe banko kan atele kankularo ke ko abe kafu kan United Democratic Party la kan memu UDP di opposition UDP atini alaji mamadi kuran kita moti me alon ko PDOS di ngole mati nun munun PDOS party di ngole mati anda dabe molu fanan kono banko kan men alon ko idama man sakunda la nin ila kulu sambanya ala sataro kono men sorota nun bakaw sate kono bakaw community center demente alon ko kibatala nin kiba jenal mabe daje atenyin kuran ko niaja be kafu kan UDP ma aka jere ko Gambia be dinkiral to demente alon ko na ko se ko tubabul kaf me ko critical joncho nin kumu Gambia la ko be demento akabe durine ako dalilo kambala abe kumma ala la pour banku dingol be ilo nyata yelo dulata kaje ko de nyin kate faynala men kana falingo si soto nyim bankun kam ako meya a nyati lindi UDP la wala mu UDP patio la type skolu sambanya ni la kolu landinya se ko fang ila demokrasi landinya patio nyim fa kono ila nyaton ka karola aning patio e bambango menke banko kam ako abe sesiro ke la gambe dingol bella pour ese kato dango beke kaje ko de president Adama Barrow kana banko marako sinya saba memo ala ta tamti nyinin ku ko dangolu atani alaji Mamadou Kurang je wollel sata nga jibe ke kibaro fana na membe den din cement ko la gambe banko kam cemento kata fendi me alon ko abe mankirin bake gambe banko kam wo manko yat na fang fo cemento da lafata ada lafata lafanya jaw bala fang ya tani je ko cementi wafilal men felendim banko kam wala lin sanda ñu sopa diamata kay tani je ko niaje cemento mankita ada fanan koleata jaw ke gambe banko kam e ko gambia man sakunda la kolu landi nyalem e kati ko nyin temben ne ka fa me ko monopoly même mu ko molle beje men yalon ko man sakunda ko wollel doronse cemento dundino nan gambia banko kam atenyin cementi wafilalu ko monopoly man sakunda ye cementi wafo dinkira detendi nyamen na ka cemento dundina no gambia banko kan kotu mo dantangol bulu etolu ko wala ya tinna cemento da jawyata a koleata gambia banko kam alaji touré ikata mo cementi wafi farafeni sato ata instant ñu sopa diamuta ata du yemeitani ko akate dum lonkan mo mendi wala mu ko cementi factory man sodo gambia banko kan ako katu nyimmolu men be fenke konkomandi cement factory la gambe banko kan akoy buka cemento do ku jang ako nin kumu e ka cemento lu tale ye sodi bako kono yena ye senka wafi moluma ako nim cement factory be momo bulu jang ako mote kulun ku problème moy la wala ka foko na kulun wala man sembe na kulun wala man futa pororo ako o bemu diam kensangol dika tan nyamena ako gambe man sakunda nyantala yela moy banku dingol la wosi kumola yenyin tarif bakata ngo bondi cemento kan tarifo membe lari cemento kan cemento men ka dunnan ni nane wala boda nan kana gambe banko kan ako niwo manke drong ako cemento dabe tenten nala ka kolea andung cemento be tenten nala fanan ka manke ata diye metani wala muka ko bitilo la ne cemento da jibe boto kilingola boto kilingo men siata dalasi keme woroti ka aytan nyamena aytan je ko dulado lu fango be jele bitilo la game banko kam e ka cement boto kilingo wafi keme sele la ka aytan nyamena aso dalilo kambala ko mansa kundaye monopoly mel la cemento kam ko doku bunda dandannu wolu kola mo de cemento dindi no la nan gambe banko kam akala miroto nyina atina cemento dabe kolealing man sakunda nyantale yo bondi ye molu bula menu sembo sa nono ye cemento dundi gambe banko kam nim boror mbadi ngolu nse jibe ke kibaro do fana nanga men sorja membe den ning kewala police lu ko ye memmuta birikama sate kono ye memmuta ko atele ye musofa wati sotta brikama sato kono e ka fa ke wonye ko Suleiman Sedikan sanji mo ni woro e kay wala soto yaate tumi menna wala mu ko e katale fatu sambu fa ko kibaro le aytan nyamena police ol ko nata menje ila kiskisro kono wala mu ko ay wuli ala fo to le ko ate mu sojar kotol di gambe man sakunda e ka manke sojar kototi am namanan dun sojar kunda sa koy sa bay bari ay tani je ko atanyin Suleiman Sedi kan biriya muta foloke ay wala yitandi to lako ate munun sojarolti ako sojarolu ya bay nun 2014 sangola kono kabin tumo men ya dun droko muta bari po men kadi am police lim bantalan kol to ala ka fa ko modum sa sisoho anata itandi standard newspaper lako ako nyin kewona te ko yito lienne ku kola ka itandi to lako annamanan ke sojardi men mudron asabatita dun sojar bara solto kadum akoto ma kewo wole munun sojaroti kaya itandi nyamena inata ibiriya nyinin kaya ko so ngani sojar kuromentare bala yobo mintole ako mole o diala kata duya itandi nyamena nyinin ku ko tangolu kiba nyinin kibar ko tangolu stana newspaper wolel safe ñinin kibar ko tangol standa newspaper wollel safe nga wollel muta kibata la bundal bultarin ki gambe banko kam mbadi wolu mbe kum faro kela na banko kibaro la janne al sela may domandi nim mutanam ning Namory sita Namory trawale me alon ko wole mun na luntangoti bi ko nga faale nyamena ata kita moti me alon ko natele bina kacala ko nga fu nyamen la wati sotta nun komando nga terale num pour Namory e kacha nama nyoso to bari min mutanan dorom be Namory selen la nase tenteng.
You're listening to Bitilo with Mfali Federa. You're listening to Bitilo with Mfali Federa.
Mbadi ngolu ngali konto ngali bismillah na Bitilo kibaro te jangal nal badi malom Mfali Federa konto droni kunto kibaro lu jibo kola kon daltaka ke nyamen drong nga luntango soto jang bi nimmen kana kacha memu Namory tarawalleti Namory tarawalle nal hakilo ba kan atol men kabala noma Bitilo to albajira lako ni lokuntambila nga soto lu njam pour na nga kacha bari na kacha nyi man na tenten no katu nga kole ala soto nun internet la karola nun wolungo la bari nkontanten sewota nga Namory soto jam Namory pour molu men yalon ko wol malong mole me alon ko ala baluwo anala simfa menuta ala baluwo kono wol mu kuku mari mbalati bankola tariko kono sako fam kolu kono kol men yalon ko lel be kacha kan Bitilo la gambe banko kam Namory mu journalist oleti mole me alon ko anana keta nun production manager di newspaper manam kan newspaper tabika doku ka kayto lu fangol ta ke print wala munu ngala doku fananti newspaper kayto bundado to gambe banko kam newspaper wolel mu kibar kayto ti gambe banko kam Namory na reke modi fana me alon ko nin ku senda nyola ku me alon ko mo jamal te kering gambe banko kan menu sa foye ko ina senda nyola aye wati Namory kera modi me alon ko nga fa nyame ate bedo ko ke kan nun independent newspaper keta do ko bundati me alon ko kibar janjan kayto le mati nun wati soto nun gambe banko kan 2000 sangol kono bari akibar kayto mantara ka tamanyin tembenna meyo sabu wala ko inin president koto jambela mansa kundala senda nyola atina fam fo newspaper nyina do kula jamalu yemante borta dol beje wol tilimbaliata dol beje wol tajirinteyata Namory natake moti me alon ko ala do ko kono anin jongulalu nyaketa fulati anin jongulalu Sanna Manjang na la molu yebeng sorota nun wari soto nun 2000 sangol kono ko nga fo nyamen jongulalu ni Sanna Manjang nyolu ni mo ko tongol la nyak la kewo nanoti abuka mo jamal wati gambe modi ifa kono inyo ta kono wolu ate tajirin teata dol be ku tilimbalo ni ku jawba ka don late kam bari nga alandu Namory ya balu nga soto jam bi nata ka kafutamma bi lafta natele kacha ko lamen yalon ko ay wollel balu anin ni jongula lula ko lulata nyamen Namory kontantan sita nge soto jang Bitilo to jang mba fole ko bismillah ise molu kondon duro ko la dorom nsina bula kacha kono.
Assalamu alaikum abaraka bake Mfali kontanta kana Bitilo la de kana experience o yitandi comme ya fanyo last week au apologize ko molbe bolo say man na keno last week go internet o man na bit ya but ni jikko so dane bi abitala inshallah ngam be konton bismillah.
Bismillah Namory kontaan se wota nge sorja la faka ñinin kar folo menke pour moli me alon ko melong isa fo moli ko ñin sangola me alon ko ñin ko laare kam ete munu muneti anim fanan ibe muneke kan nu ngela do ko mu muneti ngalo ne nga fole ko mo journalist solti anim fanan be do ko ke kan nu damento bari isa fo moli ete la do ko munu muneti wa sangola newspaper to isa kono fanan moli isa fo mol fanan ye mol men alon ko melong sako sa info ibe menke kan anin yemol murundi commandement ya fo moli ibe muneke kan nu wa sangola ata o newspaper to je gambe banko kam
abraba kem fali nte comme ya fanya to mun Namory Traoré ti mun gambien walti bon birim be gambia mbe birim jita kramoto nga do ko sarno independent newspaper independent newspaper mo be la long kayto le non gambia kibaru kayto ni gambia mi ala fomta on the 5th of September 5th of December 1999 so nde join the part no kayto ko no be do ko la wolto so na do community intel bo production manager ti so production manager ni fo wole mom ya long kayto ni ya dara computer kono fa pareta ikata ya la itel bulo kono itel kata kayto ka print ka newspaper ka compile everything pour ka se no maketo kono nyami so ndel do ko molti aninka sefero fene kenon ngi sefero kana sport mo ya lo mol ko la maye kan ga sefero ka sport fene la ba kenon bo fulo mo do ko news independent newspaper so I think na do ko kuma yata no independent so wala to mo jamaay lo wala mo jamaay lo ko so fo bi mbemi blamin to bi
okay thank you very much Namory lafa ke ñini ngamen na wo sango fanan na ñi musa njumaldinu
akela 2004 ni incident kela 2004 ta fono 4 April 2004 incident kela woldo
okay so around 2004 5 kata 2003 ma fa wala you know Gambia la politico anin tanko ko be nyaadi le nun wo sango la wato men na nun al nit ñi molla ko nata bula ñokono
Kubi ya after the election of 2001 election, Gambian political scenario changed because after the 2001 election, Gambian political violence duntaji. There are a lot of violence or kitaji back after the election. So wole Trento continta. So what Trento continta nyami a boita Gambia presso journalist la cool strategy. So ola to ola environment political environment was so violence of begin back ani violence of another journalist affect because so man sakunda mbiji time after the election aman la feno moli yalo miketa so what is going on aman la like so all that a tonta to the press so the press was like a come journalist man tilimbalia ka make sure that kibaro membule kana fonni kumbe kire bul mol kana long so mol katara sigrin kibaro kan so wol mo ile feno ile multi time wala so the whole time journalist in Gambia from 2001 kana down a kolera baka fali a kolera baka do ko ni vanke fan commande journalist la Gambia a kolera baka ni be tamakan sare kono fon momi yale kam man sakunda commande man sakunda support ka fole ko ni the enemy of the nation so in kan commande wala so ndol mo enemy ulti so you see how cool be kolera o time wol nyamna de Gambia.
Thank you very much Namory me at na ngeen ñini nga wala because comme ya sata ñameng kiba tala nin kiba jengenalu nim doku bunda beje wara nim fanna beje koleya lata menu kan president koto jamela mansakunda kono nun mo safu fanko asembe mala reto lel kan ko nga fo nyaming I think you know ko ya itandi nyamen na at the time nga menje nun wala mu ko mol men ka lonu kibata kiba janjango bunda karola kam ko seneyandi ke bondi moli nyoro ngaje ko wol jamal beje nun ike mutal nun ko banko jawolel mudi andun komen kibata la do ko mumendi wala mu kaje ko de moli kondibo ye molu kondibo ye banko dingol ta ke bondi dibo kono so lafa ke nyini ngamen na before atolu al ninyu jongula be nyo sotola were there other incidents that involve other journalists and other media house because ngaje ko komen nga fa nyaming a lot of media houses a lot of journalists ñing kole akol nata le kam baake ye dolu sorong ye dolu jani ye dolu mutake tajirinte ake tilimbalia ñing wo tilimbalia nin tajirinte ya a folota nunga to lelabang fo kibatala nin kiba janya bunda kotongol bejele men yalon ko kole alata wolle kam because ni manyina it was in the same 2004 sangole mum deda haydara fata ni manyina num
Yeah, ko bi afo nyam mo jamale bikiji mi along de yeni problem mo soro Gambia time wala because am ken tol damari but nsafo no nasoro 100% le nsafo 7 to 80% be la tol le kan because ntol by that time tol wa the only independent minded people in Gambia at that time yeah mi ala ika imantra mo kan ika independent ika kibaro mi fo kibaro saniata kibaro fene mi ka saniata man diam man sakundai so but jonathan tol biji mi along yi problem soro even the time did observe la time of observer nyol time or like Jonathan you know ye maltreat before told. So I think journalism on that time in Gambia was very very kolata back time. Kolata back told ngamira manken told na face ni jongula sol. Other incident happened before ni jongula. So trendole ika trial ika ni ke ni man so na doke na man so na doke. So the worst one was that for the ni jongula sol benta in April 2004.
So, did you ever imagine fwena sita la bang ya muta ko ini njongula nyabe kela naniti ila do ko kono?
Yo time me doko la nene mo mira because ndenga time on ndenga mira no me doko mi kenna it was just normal so ntene ma nyosro fenna so that's what were my thinking so nene man si naibe mira naibe selanya bon ka moyle ikana editorial arrest ikana editorial arrest na manage editorial arrest ye samba you know we make sure that we ye free so ketale ul ketale several times ina na dula rate ye mo ina staff arrest even customers so mi ala kana advance drop sometimes you cannot advise drop you cannot read la yetre ye be read no la ye samba o ketal you know o keta la inter nenen read la yen samba police pia you police ye muta je for sometimes after inambula so it was normal but like abeta the extent ka want to take kana live ta ko come far so nenen mang na mira nenen man mutawro but you know don't na kono ni be bolo kono ko ke sekeno
Okay. So after mena isa fo molie al nini jongula la nyake o nanoti alla ini la kola dunda nyoko nyameng. Can you walk us through the moment cool be la nyameng alun jumale mo aketa cool keta nyameng ni so sato no mole sang.
Okay, come after nyami ni ko ketalen on 4th April 2004 but I think 2 days before that I think that 4th April was on a Monday so 2 days or 3 days before that was on the Friday before that Monday and then taranam Banjul because ya ko nga nyami I was very interested in sport nga sports saferano so nga apuno so ni Minister of Youth and Sports by then Minister of Youth and Sports was Samba Fall so mbita kang Banjul so mbe select ang Minister of Youth and Sport la stia so pour kata sam minister ya so ni sojoro dole benta duma ji ay nyininka akonye ko ayu Namory trawale nka ko yes so I continue ta da mal fa continue but at that time I didn't realize because man so be fenna so I think that was the scene they wanted to identify me pour kan long mol kono back ya so nde man prononce nde continue I went back to my do ko lan continue da samba fala ang minke o ken saytana. So that was on Friday. Saturday, Sunday. I think that Monday was on a holiday. So paper man printing Monday. Pen the paper nyanda findila on Tuesday. So we are printing the paper on Monday night against the Tuesday production. So mbe do ko la do ko na press ya fanya na press beno janale canifing ni mom ye canifing long Iceman sulo kan ye na ni la fendo biji so ala opposite corrado biji ka fa le signan kunda so na press be lol de wolto so that way the press was situated so mbe wolto non suto mbe do ko la ni na staff all because I have staff all mo min ka do ko ko mi ala ka people so compile or other things so mbe do ko la jing everything was get fine throughout the day the normal day so we're printing so up to right Nsafo at 3 a.m. between 3 to 4 a.m. So we are just trying to finalize the paper, but everything was printed just to final compilation. I think I was doing the last set of me and the print only from page print kang. So nga no so men bundato. So bi nga bunda strong le man. So nga mo so bundato na ta ka bunda yele. So bi nga bunda yele ren ka molji. So I saw 6 people coming on me. 6 people a be mo me yalong mo war a be film le dum black and black muke shooting no because everybody was mo be la dula be covering no so mimbe nyato ate kido babula sai kido longkang akonye ko get out to the machine so pour ngai sama machine dula because machine donda the ni dona pressure kono se divide into 2 parts. The first part is a big part like compilation of kg the other part wala machine be lol demoldo so akonye ko get us to the machine So man choice because kido be loring kanle, so I have to compile what I have to do what they ask me to do. So I lead them to the machine. Ndunta dula mi the machine be tama kanle because I was printing at that time. So inata all mo woro kono, mo 6 people kono, mo fula lota bundato, mo fula lota tema, mo fula ninte tata kono to machine be dula minto. So birim fula je nte mo fula min tata kono to do mimbe kilingo be kono je mi alo galon le bawlo ni gata ni tulu galon 20 liter yellow galon ba bulu kono na galon foil bo kono foil essence le bo kono so bida fura na machine da ate minke galon bra ay foil bon machine kan ay foil bon machine kan so mi e kilo lo ninte kan ate machine mala kilo la a kilo ta ay machine mala so ay machine shoot machine ay shoot on machine mala so bra pum you can understand you can imagine so need kido fay machine ka machine essence bakanga how the environment should be so like a big blast boom so do be malata do be you couldn't imagine my whole so biro keda ndele biji ani tol mo fula ndol dama mo so bada malo kono to ji machine do la mindo so birin I do a call I di machine malam kido la mi nge essence bon machine kan that guy wole mus Sanna Manjang feno bat kilo la tele bulu feno lo galono bat tele bulu so galono be still aba bulo kono le bina machine malata dimba sarita dimba tatale galono kan because essence ka travel le dimba essence ka travel le so dimba travelta from the machine to the gallon so sana atem yelen atem sanalti go abatanda en vakatale mu so galono ba bulu dimba ya muta so dimba ya muta I mean doing la fire nylon only, so you can understand nylon only dimba. So I started kamala, bolo started kamala, everything was there going down. So biro keda.
I'm sorry to come in, and I'm also really sorry about your experience. This is a very, very terrifying experience. Even listening to you, kela mo italet and sign them for, nyinkijo akija farana warata bakele. Because suto dutala ibela duku lato mol findite ne kang ininkido ka wuri kang kabo ila duku bunda kang abala fa warta asila nafana warta. I can only imagine what you were going through at that moment. Follow la fake nyi mu wati jumale dunu suto la because ngala na yafalo ko suto la ngal ka production ke anim fanan isafa molie ñunu mulungo benu ñaadile biri finitanal kan ye mum fensifa lel fanan dum fo ye ñaadal mabole bang fo inatele bang imam if you can take us through those details before we proceed please.
Abake Fadil kuma ya fanya man akata ni time kata between 3 and 4 that's the time almost production finalized 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. Within that time. So those are the other time that we call finalized. So we are in finalized point of the printing press. So akada talan saba akada talan nani suto. So be kaito print kam. So kuma ya fanya ma utamu nata. So be do kola so we are na cool cool paretale on tafa no kaito paretale already because me final pages mo le print kan no pour kaito e pare. So inata wala 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Inata je. Kuma ya fanya biribi nakang ibeye femfion le dum black. Everything black. From top to down, we're black. Nyada be face, nyada mo tebo mo suti. You have everything like nyada covering everything will cover black and black. Everything is black. So you book the mo suti mo koyma le mo fion le jam idol. You can understand that. So that's it. That's how it was. So it was I don't know. Balafa water bag. So so wole kita so it don't know nyama. So and kafo mo na 6 people mo dunta jeng mo kilo webul pistol webul. That more 6 everybody has a pistol on you, so it was very terrifying.
Wow. Did you see anything else that they carry other than pistols? Fem koten be bulle ba men pistulo manke kilindi ba?
Pistol ani galon nga fanyo ko galono galono be bulle galono yala fuelo kijele. Wole masino mala. Fuelo no 20 liter yellow galono ba bulle fuelo lo bokon. So ngole zunga yego bongore wole yego bala yes. So
so biring idunda eko nsamba masingoto.
Yes.
And then aleko album alijenke nsamba masingoto. Is there anything else you memfale would lado?
I contact go get us to the machine. But the other 2 people me alone they will find about normal will go that staff staff will be I had other 9 people that will work with me. So I call I call more get down to the floor, get down. So we'll be la table will be jalan kaido compartment will be la duma. So they have to obey. So below la duma so move for a lot of will can just to guard them. You know, like they are under prison. So la duma jille. So ni more for you from the kilo will bull. So the other 2 people we move on to the next place where machine will blind.
So you also mentioned that I masingo nyim malanin kidi kesola like kidolta I masingo bung dimbani nadabo. Was this before Esanso be kelakam for after Esanso nyin kedaka?
Esanso kelakam for the first thing birin dunta masino dlamin the first thing I mean ke wole ka Esanso bom masino kam. Birin dunta direct birin dunta de masino direct masino be tam kan masino was running. Masino be tam kan I Esanso ta ya bom masino kam. After bira Esanso bom masino ale the next one away the kido masino malani kido la.
Okay.
Masino malani kido la.
Yeah. I'm sorry for coming in nge kuntinyameng. But idanda ndamento eko isobita nunko galono be membulu Sanna Manjang nem. You know, and eko bring ye masingo nyumbunki do don dimbanyi nata mala. So if you know pick it up from there, ila satarore.
Okay, coming out for nyama bring ni ade I Esanso bom masino kam. The next man we di masino malen dimbala. So iya long fuero wenyami Esanso wenyami. Ate ka travel le ni dimba nan dimba benyo bala ka travel le. So brai dimba bala masino mala kidola. So dimba spakta. Bra spakta I went back to me fuero bongalo kan you know nyato mba fola nyaade ngalon ko sanan salle. So dimba muta na wonkan aya bolo muta. Ay galono muta aya bolo muta. So dimba malaka abe malakan so tol mo sabale biji abe malakan kido ba bulurun bira malata nga jaay kido drop ala kido drop duma. So bira malata ko gali ko what they said help me I'm burning down help me. So I would tell help me I'm burning down help me. So bira for the other 4 people men in the at the salo kono salba kono will be moved in. So inata ya sika dimba bala ya sika ana bolo malka ya sika ina burta banta na banta bunda balaji kenyo be tripo because construction be work kenyo tripo be ji so ina ya la fay kenyo tripo kan kenyo ta ya faya kan kenyo ta ka fay bolo ka ira fay bolo buka dimba fa so dimba na ta fa ya sika e burta ja bere finda ndem ngula no male mbula no because I have to save my life because the place do be genikale so mbula no. So jani mo bulare noma nga akilo so dan mano biri dima amuta ay kilo drop le so bra kilo drop biri bende bulan a make sure nga kilo nga I pick that gun nga kilo sika. So bulare noma because I have to run out ka fidi because dula malakale already. So mfindi do nga je be dimba mano fakan dim kenyola ya sika ifinda banta ja muto be lono banta there are other 2 people banta muto balaji muto we ja pick up mi banta. So yeah, don't limit 5 people so they are left. Ita. So that's how we escape. Infinity that blan malaka already. It's already on fire. So we have to run out to save a couple come from our blan. So but kido I make so kido ni ngao pick I pick up the gun before I leave the place.
So dulani bejanita.
Dulani bejanita. You couldn't believe nga fire service from Churchilltown to Carnifing. It will take them 2 hours before they arrive. They're arriving now like the place already down. It's down. It was down. Completely down. Completely down.
Pain. So but Namory, I'm really sorry. This is a very terrifying experience. You know, I can understand ka abalu koteke ka kansara could be very, very tough for you. Ilo molo ni men benyo kan wolbe no mindole biri nyimbe be ke kanu. Korimo fanam nioman to dimba nyim fanam kono.
No, it will be you look like dimba bring dimba be no until side the male. So bring bring Dimba and Mano Muta, the Ora la Gamra, they all run away. So they na mol bula because they have to burtaleta o mano sif. When they burta we no kono pukata o mano sif, na mol be sano kono mojama, finidal. If finidal burteta everybody try. Mo beta from mo luckily tol mo mom baramal kono, so it was fine. It was fine.
So at that moment, lafake nyininga mena, what was going through your mind? Birinyi mol dundanang. Did you know at the time ko nyini no sojerol tile no molti menbe do ko kela mansa kundae or for bandio lil muti or whatever? What was going through your mind the moment they came in birina tanang isangarato dundal kananu?
Yeah, to Frank, come nga at the beginning, nene ma nyila ko molbe attack wala, but at the back of my mind, Fadera, every time you do independent, used to be alert. You can't alert. So because the truth, it's a day-to-day thing. So I when I'm back of your mind, I you do independent. I slow con, start kono. A back of mind, you can careful, you can to back because of independent Benyamia at that time. So exactly, bring al dunta. All the right thing that came to my mind was this is government. This is not like a bandy or no. This is a state because we already experience also. So the first thing bringing a direct my mind regularly was this is an attack. This is a real attack. So mira ko bandi because ntol fenten ndo buloje kay du ken sen wala buloje bandi wada mo lañi ni there's only kayto ba karanya. So I want to explain bandi wala attack because that blow printing press da male machine da male biji fentiji kruti ji ma fentiji. So bandi wote mo attack la be mo talaji. So that was not wote no man tanakilo kono. Exactly bring at mo dunda rek na mano min click wole this is an organized attack.
So yes, Atako, that was not the first time. How in your experience abenu nyadi lanu?
No, person dente because before that you attack independent. Independent la. The officer la officer attack before that because I could remember before that tara na officer do na meter electricity meter yo mala dimba be keta jele comme la pour kana forsono ke kayna la kana system mode inene ra jele yo dimba mala je but dimba ma dunno officer kono yo keta jele na security na security fen attack gen le security men la do suto inene attack gen le ka baran o be keta jele before this incident. So other incidents on mbiji mi anu ka itendiko it was a street, it was a city, it was a trend. And the worst trend was that day.
Yeah. No, I can really understand that. Namory, lafta doro ninga atara. Isela telefono adjust domandi sa jela face findid because it's not showing. I don't know whether you're able to do that or what. Ite fango isaba koma demanding. Ha. Isa je lamuela alfanan face je. Exactly. Okay. All right. So I can remember thing. I can understand how terrifying it must be. If you work for need okay kiba bunda me alonko government ye nyatili la because ndefango speaking from experience ndenga doku ke tarange FM le this was 2010 kata for 2012 2013 yendo la radio soro na ko signafula bari kaje jani ben radio fanan soro na yenna boss model ya invite in NIL several times. So labangola ndolfongo tatele to a point where ndolfongo we started getting scared for our life. If sila whether or not ye arrestle it fongo handita dulal to ikatu ko mala fella drong.
Exactly.
Mantara kan jibe molel ben no bang fo kan noma. If bang fo mantara kan arrest. So all of that is very very scary. I can understand why immediately you would say to yourself that okay, this definitely in you bankola molelti ko yata ni nyaming yal attack len before. So lafa ke nyininga menan what happened next that night? Bidding woko late kang.
Yeah, bring kokra bring gal tata nte I cannot go home because bring gal tata bring tata nte tano la because I have to make sure that fire service will call put in a mark make sure that dimbaye for because of dimbaye want the corral balaje so more want the corral for affect so I have to do something. So instead I stay fire service will call but the strategy about thing bring me 30 minutes later Two people came back from the same group. Two people came back. They came back for the gun. Because they know, Kido droble. So Kido, evidence late. Because it's a state belong to the state. Yeah. So in Atale Purkida, it may find hide no. Because to have Jenikan, they don't know Koroto. They cannot, they don't know Koroto, not Jenikan. So why bring the Mamalta more around the Mombe can think in Wolfington, more not sympathize, Mulkana, Balafa, it and the, Molna Jibirola. Mojamal Finida. So in the Gafo Molinako, you want to Kido come for the gun, come we go. Nobody see the gun yet. Go for a Molkono, Molkon, they be jailing my back. But bring out my kang. Namira mean ni more put a ben surilal. So, Ntara Koma, because Nambala je Misro do be Misro, Ndunta Misrokon, nga fa hide Misrokon. Because nga lo ni enje, even in Kido, because Kido ya drop nte non blaming. So, Mutra bag, Ndunta Misrokon, Misro da so. Ni na driver independent driver bi no bi at suru ade no do ko la ñaari so na te ñola so ngate ko na da ñola ndunda misiro ko ngam fa hay but mbelo ni misiro planter ngam me ñola ni gaga jwana kido to mo jang iba fa english o sura kan everyday mo ni ga kanje mo ka fa ñun gisuñ kon do mo kido so after ye je jube bam kenyoro ye mano dimba fa mala je jibe around sulo kan be jibe e maji tar so baden mi kido ben debul so biro keda biro ita nga ina driver wala na driver to ansuma na jamel te atem driver independent driver no time nkai ko boy ni man safe ngata nkai ko because ning la jenta wala fire service man na so and them have to go mbeta ngira ko aka ngata so by then na other stuff everybody left nda mal bi na driver everybody left. I don't have a phone to call everything not all belong in a wallet or na ID card or everything was inside be so I don't have anything on me so that's how we left the place.
So you mentioned that during the attack, Meye Isanso bom masingo kang dimba ya la dendi ko muta ya nyamo dindi wana reke borto di tata. Iko ejigita ko Sanna Manjang nem. Yalo nyadi le ko avec atelem.
Okay, comme force fatala ya comme la ngel complet bin dol fu mo fini daji ndina dragon tara soko no because I'm seeing new juice only so when the back way Ibo town tara na soko no so tara bumbinda soko no man ma hani kan lana bunko no kamira binala because ma incident no biji ma o kedal for before that wala ngalo galien ya lonely already they know where I live so bugo incident do keta before that one incident one day na ko jeni la for the connection okay one day suto no the same day attack suto ina na soko no ina da sokono pour ka nyinga fu dugudale pour ka lo fu dugudale fu sokono because mbeje na sister ako brini ko grate ko nyiko suto mo fulana ta jalle suto ke nyinga e ko Namory le ate ko e ko Namory ta do ko la so yajale so bini o kay ko be simantala la yalla tol tele bon ko kino do mo so e kay ko be simantala o kay ko alnasima ko non fara ko no alnasima ko o force o bolota e kino bondi adi la isi da plan woron pero ko ya domo e kino domo ji itat so fandi britara e be findinga so kono de am officer do be na korra opposite la woy gal sutile britara wo muta nan anara akona sisa nyinka nunka jumale nyinka o kay ko e ka Namory le nyinka o ka he Namory call ni mol mu jongula soleti yajele so but na sister I call le nak def na I call le but machine be na machine no so man telephone sikano ma ring ma kala mu dak tinka be after be ni ko ga ko explain so ngam ni mol bi na lan fa attack they wanted to know where I am so one bin da so kono ne kilo na so kono man so na la na bunkon dan la outside le ni na drive fono keta so comme yin ka muri la ni karo kan comme ngalo nyaadi ko Sanna Manjang le so bi ko keta
Namory ika mem ko itata nun suwo kono itata nyininga ebenu mentole this was attack lungo nyin sudole mbari janni attack ro nyi bekela kodi
exactly the same night at before araro bekela same night da su na suwo kono pa nyininga ka nyininga ro ke ka Namory nyininga yajele so na sister ko Namory ta do ko yajele so ebe wolto si tata ba na ku sister kino dala kino domo nsa fo nyan tol ka fo nyan kino mi no wonde na sadati so wala ko na sadati so yajele so itat but binibe mfinde kan sokor comme nga fa na dia won army officer be dokona state house le o beno opposé be stir na opposé na korda woye jele Wado sutele. Wona na sisa nyinika mol jumala nyinika o kai ko kan wala nyinika. O kai ko Namory call li mol mu jonglo te kam ni kawta mol dulal kam mol fa. Na sisa e call back I try and call now. I am call definitely I try can call na phone wala but nandema phone sika because I was so busy na phone be dulal. So I could not get the the message from her. Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Why do you think they, in your opinion, sila nisita in hindsight to look at what happened? Membe kita. Ila miro do ite amira ko mune atinde tata nung iya up to the point of kasi fango fo kadomoro keje was there to look around to see ebe stayed in demento keji be fuebe jelabam fuebe dokula. What do you think what that was about?
Exactly. What's more to look at nowhere about because until independent, mostly independent, book printing on Monday. Very rare nga print on Monday. We print on Sunday. We're gonna print Monday and Friday. So we print on Sunday night against Monday and then print on Thursday night against Friday. That's our two production. So but Monday production is rare unless when Monday got public already. So we came out on Tuesday. So we print on Monday night. So for us working on that Monday night was like, it was not normal. So that's why I'm all like that around Kanyininka if I was at work or not. So they wanted to know if the paper is coming out on Tuesday morning. Because Monday was a public holiday, the paper did not come out. So when I started so to put the things together, a cool GB for me do call for Montana.
So what happened to the gun?
Okay, coming out gun and bring out I took the gun, I slept with the gun in my house in a secret place. Bring for knocker and take out bring for knocker and kai na mole kon take kido man ta saying I'm not going to return the gun. But gal konye ko ni man kido return na bine kamale because nim kido man sa kuna la kido le is a kido ni bang
it's evidence too.
Evidence ole. Gambia la na tawo le babala. Gambia la flag le babala and he's made in France. We have serial number everything. So with serial number it's linked no where the gun is from. So it's very simple. The gun kido well now. So nta saying I want to keep the gun. Guy ko ni man keep bina kamala because it is self property bina kamala they will attack you be far ni kido fa recover. Yes sir. So secondara. So mbijing fono keda cool be keda. Ye police will not do investigation on be kan. Ntebanta I didn't go ntebanta dulado ne sina sokono. I didn't manta sira sokono. So na boss time da na boss ala yoro jallo ba konto kan yala ben na moyel kale so time travel dal man travel telephone he wasn't in the Gambia by then so so molben call kan ni molben call kan na family line house because na funo jenta di ba kono so ni molbe dia mo la so after e ko nyengo kilo sayndi nka yo kilo na man ta sayndi I said I'm not going to return the gun ta sayndi so e ko nyeko ni ma sayndi bi ne kamale so kilo ba refon so after data sorry die jao it was the president of Gambia president by then. So I tell him call
minister a couple of years ago.
Exactly. I tell him Gambia president for that time. So I tell him call kilo riba saying the nima saying the vine kamale. So I'm convinced I'm convinced. Okay, mbasenda. So mbasenda nyarl how do I do they gone. Because kilo ndemanda momentana ante ya ko be kilo okay I don't want everyone to come to my house. So and kilo fena nimba hand over I should have witnesses. A lot of people. Manda mo kile mo fula yana renga kilo jelante okay. I have one of witnesses. Even in witnessing, I want the journalists to be there when I'm handling the That was my request because I want to be in a record. Yeah. So I can say mbekela 4 o'clock ni galdi da nga beng press la dula min jenta dimba be dula ngata because the inspector general of police, the CMC, crime management, after 4 they will come there. So nga benjing 4 o'clock. So I kido handover every hour. All the army everybody, every security apparatus, every Gambia, all the head of security apparatus, they came there after 4 o'clock. So die jao taxi ki nanye. So taxi na ram pick sokon. So Ntara presolto. We met there. The machine was burned down. The place everything burned down. Police they were trying to do an investigation. But investigation it take only 2 hours. The police will be withdrawn. There were no police to investigate. So we not raging. Everybody was there. But I could remember that by then 13 Baji was the Inspector General of Police. I could remember. Something Baji. Usman Baji. I forgot his first name. But they call it 13 Baji. He's a very popular guy in the police. He was the Inspector General of Police something. So not raging. So dola independent fene dole bino dokula je kafa CD Bojang. But CD Bojang nene and he had no bad middle the army. He was a military officer before, but he left the army. So I remember Douglas. He was sub-editor at Independent News. So I didn't raji na raji bila raji konyo ko gono din ma fa furo kilo na jene ba di lagal. So ngo kilo diala ade I kilo lol. So because I know he was in the army. So I kilo ta yel crack I know I GB, So he told me this is the gun that I've used for the past 6 years. So he told me that in front of all those people who are standing there. So when you know what that means. That was big embarrassment. So, yeah. So they will fall publicly more by army. I thought this is the gun I used for the past 6 years. He was in the army. In the this is the promotion of Yajami. The same badge we Yajami. So I was a news editor at Independent. So Galgo Sami Kido, that's the gun. So I want to, everyone was there. All the journalists were there. The only media that was not there was the GRTS because GRTS could not cover those kind of. But all this media, how the radio, everybody, the newspaper, everyone were there when I was handling with the gun. Because I wanted to be on record. So nga Kido Diala, Kido Dayadis, the crime management coordinator, Ibunjai. I think his name was Ibunjai. He was the crime CMC by then. Yeah, Kido Diala. So from there, the how I know about Kido. What Jarim Kido Mba Hanover na photographer lama nga kumunda na soko na ental na tolota nga everything. We took all the information about the guns before we hand over the gun. That's how I hand over the gun to the government.
No, Bebulu?
Huh? Yeah, I have everything. We have everything. I have everything, serial number, everything. It's on my phone. Maybe I will text you. I will text you the serial number. Everything is in. I have them. Everything. Yeah.
Nyimmalo se wara num mansa kundakang. Iko tanko bunda mul bile nata everybody. What did they say?
If ever Lauren Jeng, because they know before they come here, they'll know. Everybody know. Finally, bring Ninko Kera. Police na da ko police someone investigate. Police came 30 minutes after the starting of investigation. The police were withdrawn. You know what I mean? They were withdrawn. They asked them to move, to go back. They won't investigate. There were no investigation. There were no still. Even an hour. The police have not spent an hour on that place. When the things happened, they came there. Yes, they said they want to investigate. They tried to put things together. Investigation okay, but I go bring with you call Nata. I go let's withdraw the police from there. Yeah, police will withdraw. You know what I mean? So I Nata Jelle, they all these security apparatus Nata Jelle just they were trying to make it things nice. But if you will be alone, let me be caring because come on, wanted to show that it will take, little sympathy. Sympathy, is not part of you. From the army, from this NIA, from the police, everybody, all the heads of the security apparatus were there. Everybody, they all were there. Everybody was there. But they were there because they gone. They were there because they gone for that. Because the kilo was so important to them. So important they love kilos. That's why they were there. That's what I feel.
So itole mune iman femfale wolo nimbaro temaje about probably kido sebodamento. What did they say anything that stood out to you at that meeting?
No. No, the only person that said something was the Tatin Baji, because Tatin Baji I think he's a friend to my boss. I call a guy. Yeah, we will go get to the bottom of the thing. That's all he said. That's the only thing he said. Nobody of them, none of them said a word. None of them said a word. None of them.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's really crazy. So what happened next? Allah Fenko like
yeah. It was crazy. It was crazy. After that, they take the gun. They all left. We can come for the kilo. There's someone. Be kilo. So more become more be killing. Ta. Ikado ile mutu kuna yeta. So the police were less like that. Kilo Belgian. The machine was like. Decided think that machine was in the Gambia 6 months. Only 6 months old in the Gambia. It was a brand new machine that we bought. Only 6 months and it was burned down. So it was a great setback to us. A very very great setback.
At the level of the state. Come in Ninko State, Mbemansa Kundale, was Sangola, or Jam. Yemuna for a quarter. Did they send a press release? Did they address it at the time, or did they say anything? Was there?
No, I have my knowledge about anything the government said. They didn't say anything. They didn't say anything. Yeah, they didn't say anything. So they have content, but they didn't stop there. I think after that, they still had some attack on independent after that. So you got after that, good old nada kele kote me independent la cool for laban nada strong, all those things are there. So even Masino Bonta, with people were still coming, and we are printing somewhere else. And we got printing at Dulam, you can threaten. When the machine was born, there are some commercial places that we used to pay and print our paper. They go there and threaten those people. Some people they stop printing us. They were threatened by government for them not to print for us. So
that's
yeah.
really
That
crazy.
was it. So coming after this thing, life have to continue. Life have to continue. So cool nyame. So come back to the story. After the kiddo tatara. So that's how we work. The place was shut down. The place was shut down for sometimes. We were not coming out. We were not printing. We were not working because we are handicapped. Yeah, much personal printing ke mo jama bi jemi mon so naka printing ke ni. For later on, Observer, when Serif Bojan came the MD of the Observer, he accepted to print for us under ominous pressure. But he was trying, to help to print our paper. But so ni kido call nata another surface koteke. So sometimes the things came back. One day me doko la bina boss nata. One day me doko la na office okono. Somebody called. I know boss call ala cell phone. Na boss my telephone ska. Nata call. I call. So finally my boss pick up the phone. Me and my boss. Huh? Yes.
Face.
Okay.
Yeah. Video.
Thank you.
Nisa so, siya koma fine ni one day in mobile ota yeah. Exactly.
Okay. So very one day somebody called my boss. We had at work. So somebody called my boss. So my boss pick up the phone and call na boss ko. Okay, na information also about mommy Aladula attack. So we know it was government, but we needed another specific demand. So because that was so I can't I know I have information about people that attack your press. You burn down your press. So how would I get that information? I can't boss if you wanna meet me at I could remember in the early 2000s there were restaurant opposite GRT the force. Gamtel from opposite. There was a restaurant for a coming. It was a restaurant for a coming. And some just opposite. Today news were today news were a restaurant before. So the restaurant was called Come In. So I called the boss near same meet no come in and say information on dealer about the attack on the independent. I was okay. So na boss it's very smart. So na legal rep call. Well, Ami Ben Sudadi. Ami Ben was the legal rep of the independent. So Ami Ben Sudako. Ami okay. Ikatale, but ida makanata. Make sure you more any more do it annual. Na boss okay. Say the right person that Namory because Namory was inside everything. So I call na bankata blood. So we walk down independent just opposite school. So we walk down. So we met the guy that and Sita Jing restaurant. The guy was an officer in the army, but by then I am bulale. Well, luckily, I need Sana the same badge, the same badge with Sana. So he knows Sana very well. So ako ate a week before atata nong father barracks. Kata atata je ala kolisul ala former kolisul visit. So atata jing ay gal terjani gal kacala tang. So I gal nyinga Sana le gal ko hey Sana somebody around them la kolisul guy ko Sana be accident also. Ako Sana nyole tarana independent news by black place born down. So Sana dimba Sana mutaje. So dimba bolo jenta bagale. E presently from about three kang Captain Bajikala Swokon. Yeah, that other guy told us. So the guy feel that was a very vital information. That's why he called us. So this is what happened. So Akonyoko, I am model name we are part of the junglers and GTA and sort of people I will name jealous. So meanwhile part of the groups that do that. But the mastermind and everything was Pajinka, Captain Pajinka was behind everything, was the one that masterminded the operation and Tumbul Tamba. Right. So that was how we get the information that Sana was the right person. That's why at the beginning of my interview, because Sana will Dimbaya Sana Lemuta. Because he didn't want to carry in the galo. So according to Dimbaya Sana, bring the information also, or the information also. So that's information you cannot publish it. If you don't publish it, you cannot prove it. You're dead. So you can't publish that ever. So what we do what we do, what my boss did, well, I for advice ko. He makes sure that you get this maybe to a National Assembly member or somebody who can have the humility, who can say this kind of thing in the National Assembly. So by then Ahmad Ba was was there by then. So my boss talked to Ahmad and give information to Ahmad Ba. Ahmad went to National Assembly and said that Canada, this is the guy that do this, and this guy is born down at Dimba Malala Abe my Pajika Yabe Iwatri Kamoto. Bido for now Ahmad for National Assembly. Yeah, move now from Bajika House. Yeah, Bondiji. Yeah, Sambakani light. So didn't move lodging. There's somebody in the secret, not boss friend, not boss friend. Somebody was there, Ukata Bajika every day. So na boss you command the iron Utara Jelo was an agent. So Sarah was bolo bebe jinikanle. So una organic is true. Atara Jela Sanaji life. Bolo bolo tang be dimba like blah so that's why we say I said at the beginning of the interview because Sanale Dimba is Sanamuda. So that's how we know who are behind the attack. How we know that.
That's crazy. Yeah, so a lot of people came and helped you, Yal Makoi. Kafali cool ketanyaming isobita menna ye mellong ye mammellong. I think it was very, very helpful because ninyin kusi keta. Aketa menula ake makoele the more information ye mensoto. So ngamero bukendolti. At this point kalamela al hakilo blend doronko. Albela moy kan bitilo lela alnal badi malum falli fadera na bitilo kajato nga mensoto jang wole mu Namory tarawaledi Namory keta moti malon ko journalist ole mati kibatala kibar jinjen nala mati a meta doko kono men siata sanji mwandi kara sanji mwandi lulukan a wole ke journalist ala gambe banko kam a doko ke di independent newspaper anin kibar jinjen bunda kotangol to kumbe men sata kan wole mu enin jongulal la sey nyolo jongulal wol keta multimedia alon ko wolel ka farol kenun ka tajirinte anin tilimbali akolu ke mola president koto jambela maralo koto atol membe jibe kan membe la moy ka radio gambe banko kam albe moy kam Vibes FM le 106.1 FM mem felenting manja kunda sare kono ngatol men soto online albe jibe kam sako YouTube nsa fala doron ko subscribe na YouTube channel donal subscribe taje nal subscribe ta le belongoma albaji la le ninga ni nyong kacha sifa dati wati albe notification o sotla albe kala mo foloti men ba kibaro sotla andung albaji la fanan ning nga kukotangol dundi dorong hana manke ning kachalti na documentary nim fen kotangol men bina kam albe notification o sotla bari nal subscribe ta fanam wo fanam mu silo dol dimi alon ko alse bitilo sembentendi no because nal ka subscribe nyameng e ka kibaro fanan janjam mo jamale wala nyama so ngal dani wo karola dorom nsa fale doron ko nali nyinin karo soto alse alla nyinin karo lu fanan kina nan ne janin kibaro be kumfala mba katalale nga killing fula sabata ka nana man nyinin kala Namory nyinin kala se hekatu ase jabi molie ko nga fanyame so Namory nga mo jamale so mi alam ko ben jibe kan nyintembenna men siata mo wuli kilindi YouTube nim Facebook be ben jibe kan nyintembenna ilang lafake nyinin ka menna in terms of al nimman sakunda temo birin yalla newspaper jani biri ye kolu beke alna fal is there at any point that the state came out to offer an apology kana kal bolose kala masingo jo or anything like that bawo comme yasara nyame mobe yalla ne ko at the time ito lel ba ko makati la kido to zaje fo la bangola nyimmo ko tongol bina rena rakido ta ya maludo ta albulu did anything happen next?
But the only thing that happened, we can like attack you continue. Attack from that, I'm on stop. But after that, after that, you know, Ridley once. After that, you Ridley. You mobile arrest, even including myself. You arrest in some PIU office. All this stuff, everybody. You that day, you mobile arrest. You mobile arrest in some PIU office. You screen. So ye dol bula ye dol ko wole o time wala le Madi Sisi and Musa Sedi kan sambano ina. You remember that Musa Sedi kan that was the time, that was that particular rape. You remember that?
Want us to come to that.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, even more can.
I'm sorry. I want us to come to that. Bari, la fa kesa demanding, wole mu nying operation timi alon ko wole keta foya la dula jani, anim fana alnata lo nyamen ko Sanna Manjang nem, ngam yo besene andile, ko alnata insider information le soto ko dolel ba ko nyin koma. Mo le nata ifindital ka mo betolu mo kendolu inata ya kibaro futandal ma so la fa ke nyin ka men janim bita oda attack sol men yalon ko lil keta ko ya sata nyame ngalon ko nyi manke labangoti e murtana independent kanenung e boyta la do kulalu kanne. I really want us to get into that, but la fake nyi ka ya sata ko alnata moy ko captain bajinka nin tumbul lebenung wo operation o koma ni se demanding fono molie as to the information alnata mensoto on this issue ko ya sata nyame mol soto tele men yalon ko biraketa e findita nan ye information ol dialla kal sembentu yandi ka fale nga nyine moy nga nyine je alnata lo nyaadi lo ko tumbul ning bajinka wolel be nyin ko nyin koma
Fale is ironical mra fanya mo fakere nyamim tumbul was like a friend to me. Then Namory. Tumbul tumbul every day samanda ni tumu kada dokola akan commande telefola ko Namory comme le sino te wulla mo kada dokola sino. Because they are most intaka born on press. I left the press in 5 a.m. Ngini tara tanga langa sino sumna ba appear kada dokola sometimes taka wale. So about ta taka dokola 7 o'clock ndebe sino la. But I can't call le na phone da ka wale dokola de sino te wulla ba kamol de dokola de sino. But buka ni ka fale buka bulande ni nyokono. Somebody that mom yala ke call no every day. Wo the same person me a call mastermind as in chumbuka bulande ni nyokono. I was so close to Tumbul, but I never knew he was a person like that. Tumbul nda si jamol to magibela. Unfortunately, because they are I was supporter and they unfortunately supporter as a club. So unfortunately game ole Gambia national team la game ole Tumbul nana si I can take call no la mena kasimbalale.
Listen.
You remember akasimbala ndem man nena man ta si jamol to bona tumu fana man tra fana juti de fana tra do ko la man tanzro bana ta si jamol ta kasintele bal. We talk about the game, we watch the game together. But one thing now alone, tumul nena man son take do ala mudokon. I saw you that nena man son. But ndoge na kasaya samba. He will give me somebody to take me home, but no for him he never want me to get on his car. We've been friends, but you friends I'm gonna understand. But I'm gonna for nyami. Ntolfene na boss, ala yoro I made a Gambia lonely, he has friends that was between me along I will will information on there. So they one of them, senior officer in the army, tell us everything and gives us all evidence. All evidence. All evidence that these two people were the when the operation bring back again fine, you told you told look at but it's on phone with them. To direct them, to tell them what is going on, what they do. So Tumul was, and that night, coming Tumul was that night, like he was during when Deja Hyderafakanyama as the main man, the same thing was when we attacked Independent, was the main man behind everything. He was the coordinator. But
So
Ngafo, Tumul was so close to me. You can understand.
In la friendship na dal banyadi le birin yin ko keta.
Birin Kokera. Yeah, Birin Kokera. After that, Kokera. Ngame Birin Kokera, I different another sasale. For some time, Tumul sasale. Before he passed away, he fell very sick, very, very sick. Very, very sick. So yeah. So another sasa, so Nana Buganyo, sometimes Nga Kora telephone sika. So after not long ago, man came there. Because you remember Sidinjai meaning the deputy speaker, was staying in Tumul house. I was Sumuli Adagra Sunusra, Tumul Lesokon. So yeah, so Tumul Beno, I was Tumul Buluno, Tumula Kuluna, Tumul. So that's how close we are. I was to Tumul. Tumul lonely, Ngala Musul lonely. It's not like friendship. I said I don't know the Tumula Musul. So we close, we're friends. We're friends because of sports. Because they Mojama armed forces, last sport department for the other party, last sport department lonely because I was supporting armed forces. And armed forces the game on armed forces the game with every game I was there to watch armed forces playing. So yeah, so that was in 9 years. So After the incident, I went at Saturday. I was at a Amana Balo to Saturday. You couldn't get it.
So how was Tumbul as a person? Because nyaje mbe nyini nkaka nyina. Bitilo jang mbe video dole dira kang looking at jungle li mo fal menke. A video nyina dia alay in the coming days mbe findindi la nane. But not me realize wala muko Tumbul was at the center of this. Abe kuo be temale sakofang operation follow men yalon ko jungle li waleke. Tumbul le mu jungle la commander followed.
Exactly.
He was the first commander. Dauda Nyasi, Ndongo Mbub, Deda had pa atola independent tako be kumakangolo nga menu moy jongulal bulu. Atele benungi be koma. You know, atele to ka findije wato wade tumbule command ke tumbule nyimfo tumbule nara koteng. So working on this video, it has made me become fascinated about who Tumbul is. You know, and since I'm hearing for the first time I would be really happy if you can share it with me, number one.
Okay.
But number two, Fanam, how was he like as a person? Mumosi Valem.
When you come to the revolution, the July 22nd revolution, Tumbul preferred the July 22nd revolution that his own life. You know what I mean? He was so fascinated about this July 22nd revolution. Abuka Fiala. Near Tumbul or say something about the July 22nd revolution. He was so I don't know what he has. He was so fascinated about the revolution. A cool revolution, cool tanyami. He was like, he was too arrogant. He was too arrogant too. Tumbulka sojaro tulo busa sijomo konon mol baby siri sijomo be faraka sojaro tulo busa amanke sinyakle sinyapula sinyapula for something daga fa bro ni mambe ya you know akal tulo busa online come like ni sojaro lota lano la you know party or something like something happened he do something akeneta ake tulo busa. He was very arrogant guy, very arrogant. But revolution
jangolem bam fokke sutungolem.
Yeah, it's like a jump for he's a fit man. He's a complete guy. Complete fit guy, yeah. I'm Bolos but he's a very strong guy. Yeah. But he's when it comes to July 22nd revolution, then I'll go catch up. I told you don't understand. I got for a day. You will not understand. I go, boy, make me understand. I know you won't understand. I think you know they will understand. But he was so fascinated about the revolution. He can do anything for the revolution. Anything.
Nico revolution, or you're talking about
July 22nd revolution. Yeah.
Yeah.
For him, you don't talk about the government. You talk about revolution. For him, the German government is started from July 22nd. That the revolution was, I don't look at how the idea was still the July revolution. Even after 10-15 years, still about talking about the revolution. For him, he said it's a revolution. That was the idea he has.
Do you think maybe he'll have friendship with him wole bante in your tanka? Maybe.
I still can't know what I mean. I still can't know tanka. But I get attacked, so but I don't think we'll play because now I can send somebody now and you wanna send somebody no or something like that. But I was there and they could have killed me. So yeah, I mean not time on bang maybe then camera nyamba ka po nyame sada border na ko muda yeah. Yeah, so but so when it comes to this kind of thing, Saddam to friends. I will tell you don't have a friend. He can kill you. If we have to kill you for the revolution, he will kill you for the revolution. Yeah, I know that about him.
At what point did you know Tumbul could have been a jungler? Do you know that during Allah friendship wato kono yalo no ko Tumbula kan yim fancy falle ke commando bada tele mu jungler la mati or whatever?
No, nena malo. Sometimes nakata siri maji wala ya call I won't take a call. Okay, several times. Sometimes katara siri maji wala mayote. Kaka boy molo maji wala kata hey boy, ako yung call na sira us katale. You left. I have done it several times. But nena ma mira ko this kind of things now. I know it was very hard on the soldiers on the line. I know I can say that. But like be part of a jungle and other thing. No, nena I have never been. Nena friend. I never think of that. That never came to my mind.
Like I said, Tumbul is alako jahalo waratale.
Yeah.
Mo me alonko ngala ne Sanna Manjang ne toka finti bake. Tumando bato atela mo fa sangarata katambi mo ko tangolti. Bari koku Sanna Manjang yake Tumbul la ba koko ma.
Bakoma, yes. I
Abe
could
ke
remember, further, to ask something. Just recently, some few 2 months ago, I met somebody who and in Tumul. We are friends. They were in the army. He even told me one day attending the one of Sijumokono Tumbuli asika betakang. I tumbul ni nka mudon ako tumbul nka moile I told le kata mol fatang ibi jungula deme. Ako ate it's a friend with tumbuli the same badge. Bilen I for tumbuli mudo paka ako ko is ako ko nias natran mani make friend be falal. He told the guy told me that Tumul told him that if you are not my friend, I will kill you here. I go, well, so that will tell how Tumul was so passionate about the revolution thing. I go, mano konyoko, that was a soldier too. But I'm not a soldier. I go, Tumul ko, I will do anything to defend this revolution. So somebody just told me recently. That was just recent. This wasn't last year. From one of his friends. So that will tell you how Tumul was. Tumul was for everything.
Okay, if an Canada fenne kono de, because you were so close to him like that, anything could have happened.
Exactly. I was so close to somebody that I thought he was my friend. And yes, I thought he was friend. It was. There's no day that somebody don't talk to me on the phone. I don't remember that kind of day. No, one day. Even because he was somebody Arsenal. He was an Arsenal fan. So anytime I Arsenal game, I can do Arsenal game or give it. Never got I can table Arsenal market team. So something like that. We used to joke on the game. But
how did you feel? What at what point did you acquaint Mako Tumbul probably is one of these junglers?
That was after the independent newspaper, after independent attack. Because after that, bring information on that, I know nga even now after that, I wanted to dissociate myself with him. But luckily, suddenly after that, I started to feel sick. And then I'm really was so.
Biria kalamutoko abenung jungle konale. Did you ever speak to him after the attack? In that diamutalaba?
Not after 2 days after the attack, he spoke to him. What he told me when that happened, I said, no, Jonathan, you told me Jonathan Mule Bekeri. He told me something. The end of press the born. Because I was open to him, I don't even know he was the guy. You know what I mean? It was. So he told me what happening. I had something was like they burned down our press. I'm sorry. So that's it. That's it. And that's it. For me, I only got a phone, maybe something happened to me or not. I don't know. So cool. Since then, I tried to cut down. When I know the information about him, I try to cut it down to him a little bit. Little bit. Since then, when
it's really crazy. It's really crazy. Namory. But lafanga tentendamento, you were explaining biri mol finitenang ya falie, ko probably state level ko in coma, maybe Sanna Manjang la timo molem. Is there else that happened after that?
Yeah, after that, cool down. We went off the market for some time. We came back, and the people struggle. We struggle to continue. That's the only information we get. Support from people more than other, more Marcoy, sympathize. That's the only thing happened. Nothing happened from the state. Nothing happened. There's no communication. There's nothing prejudice. There's no investigation. Nothing happened. So that's how we continue. We come back. We came back in the market for sometimes. Come back in the market. So we continued producing. Yeah. And later on, the incident things continue. They did not stop. Yeah.
Biringo cool, but
yeah, I think my boss traveled to America because of the next thing that we learned that they were the list. They called a blacklist. They had a list on people that should be killed. And among that list was my boss was part of the list. So he has to find his way out of the country. That's how he left the country. So he left the country, but we said the people is not gonna down. We're gonna continue working. So that's when he appointed Musa Sedikan as the editor of the independent newspaper. Madi Sise, the MP of current MP of Serekunda, was as the managing editor. So to brief the management of the paper so they can continue. So that's what happened. And Musa Sedikan came in, and Musa Sedikan was I know him very well. So we worked. We went this. We had a good team again with Suleiman Makalo, other team. So we started working again the paper. But things did not stop. One day over there, and on a morning they came and raided the place. Everybody, anybody that was there, they were arrested. Everybody, including customers that came to drop advance, they were arrested, taken to PIU office in Carnegie. EMO identify people that are customers were released. Some female accountant or typists were there, they were released. So they come all feasible nyamala. The most less people you release none. So for less society they can madi nte, I was last person to be released before after Madi will continue. So they luckily when they check me, go, this guy is a sport guy, so I released. So luckily, Demba Konta was there, was a friend to my uncle. So he's appealed for them. So they let me go. So I let him that. So but when Madi Sise and Musa Sidikan was transferred to the NIA. That's another story. That's another story. That was a bad day.
I believe the story that ye listo la sudun purka molu menu fa ke eliminate.
Yeah.
Because wasan kilingole dida haidarafa.
Yeah, the same here. They have they call it blacklist.
Yes.
They call it blacklist.
Ye dida haidarafa wasangole la andu jongula kilingole dida haidarafa.
Exactly.
Comme Malik Mangala sataro kono. Ako tambala ben driving la wolungola. Ako Sanna Manjang be siri moto nyato. Ate Malik Jata aning Aliou Jang be moto koma. Ye deda haidara moto bayndi fo police la garaso bala sankun sila silo kang.
Yes.
Ye kidota ya soso akono ya fa. Ala dokula be siri moto koma. So I can definitely believe that.
Exactly. I can definitely they said there's a blacklist. The blacklist people to be killed. That year, 2004. There was a blacklist that again. So my boss name was part of that list, and she has to run for her life. Yeah, yes. He has to run for his life. A great guy.
What about Baba Galle?
Baba Galle, I think before Baba Galle was nearly caught by the Baba Galle left for studies. After Baba Galle, some Baba Galle left for studies. When this thing happened, Baba Galle was not in the Gambia. He was already studying in US. He was studying in US.
So you're talking about Alning state la encounter, Mansakunda la say nyolo company newspaper la Masingo Jano Kola. Yal samba PIU. Mune after that.
Madini the president and they spent about 67 days or 77 days in detention, torture and other things. The paper went down again, so kind of things, because after that there was nobody. only me and one lady, Aisha Dabo. She's now in Gambia. She's now in Senegal. So there were people there. There was nobody there. So the people went down again. We were out of the market for some times. And after Bula, we came back in. Madi came back when after something like 2 months. They spent about 2 months in detention. So when Madi was released, Madi came back to the office as a managing editor. So we start again. We start working again on the paper. And Sedikan could not make it because he has a lot of threat on his life and sort of things. So he couldn't make it up. Yeah, he couldn't make it.
Sedikan fanang yate tajirin te ale famade.
Too much. Yeah, back.
Because Musa Sedikan la case le atina ye Usman Sonko Sorong in Switzerland.
Exactly. Yeah.
He was your boss.
Yeah, that's it. I've been on independent. He was the editor when that happened. He was the editor of an independent newspaper. He was the editor of the independent newspaper. So that's what happened. But after that, people could not survive because we went and then the saddest thing, I think we definitely closed because they only came one day. We came to work one day and find the police at the door. They said the place is closed. Why? No court order, nothing. The place is closed. We do everything we could do. No, the police were there mounting guard for almost 3, 4, 5 months. I don't know, maybe in a year. The police were there. Nobody entered. Nobody. No, the place was closed. That's how the independents vanished in the market.
It's really sad. It's really sad because listening to you, nimbela moy kan fem fon hande fon hakilo karandola own experience le kan Taranga FM.
Yeah.
Ndolla Taranga FM fanan akete la ko dorong alale ndol kungol ku jisuma la dorong.
Yeah.
Because yendol fanan na radio soro no ko signafla.
Yes.
Bien yen radio soro signafla. Signa dobe je na boss muta ya samba. Andung each time ni binanang kanaka radio sorong inim pick up saba nani lulu worole kananu. You know, wulungo sudo la atara dente nga radio bulan seta suwa kono le bari. Yenna molu men taraje. Andum mem famo foni da bedi. Yajele lungo men na itara baka usu noma. NIL tara baka usu noma ye baka usu muda. Mem mu jongulalde. Wulu suta kilingo le tul findi dan tol kang Taranga FM. Nde se telefon o mbe suwa kono it was fitir kola. Mbe yedoro ngam yen call ne kwenye ko you know sojaro lel boraja ko nga radio sorong. So you can imagine you know at that age you are a teenager essentially because radio that in 19 years 19 20 21 ifintita kanna wo sangola wo sudo le konte ko jongola sojaro le nata ya la radio sorone wolo wonta man sino no wolo ngom man sino no
It affected my career because when that happened, this problem happened, all my family said you have to leave journalism. But it's something that I love, I can't leave it. So I have to go on a break for sometimes and come back. But even when I come back, it was not like I work with I work with the Point later on, Paradise FM and other things. But it was not like it was before. You know, it was before because the independent was like it was part of my blood. It was something that I know, and you know, I was so passionate working for the independent newspaper, so passionate. And anybody that know me, you know, independent newspaper. So
yeah. Namory, how was life like for you? Ila balu na Kenya dile biri newspaper nyinta ya because yalom mo jamal fanam beje ela mind bukata wole kan. Ko ñing kolu kala molu menu kan harama dingol lel muyti balu wol lel be bulu ye family lel soto mol men be depende kan ñin doku bundal newspaper ni ñin fenkolu ela balu be wala ni na tay boyta molu kan ye la doku bundal sorong ye dulal jani ye charindi ye pabarindi ye bondi doku wala you know amasibo abata toro akala harama dingol lel kan ngamira mol buka wolto je. Can you talk to me about ela life na Kenya di le birin ñing ko latal kam?
When this happened to me, my family was really under pressure when come back. Nam family ko funga journalism funga bular. Na brother na ran kama fa sama village. Ay sama village ko. I first time when the combine sama village. You know, akonya ko you want that you're not going to combat anymore. And some village I have to stay there for sometimes. You know. So you could remember my daughter. My daughter was like about them when I was 3 years old. So it was crazy. Mentally, no because na life ko na man kido fon jena life ko na man so kido ta na man kido fon jena la nka ji confirm nga fimo jo kido ba kido fala mbulo ko no na ela na bon ko no sometimes it's traumatizing onin kamira la. So after that, you know, for me, your mind come any more even when I walk in the street, not mind because you know because I hunting me because kill information and that's very important. So that's traumatizing. Sometimes but because that time they have more on you can jump fence bala you know ye bondi ye samba mo buge that's what you can so so even I walk in the street in the daytime I should be careful. So that had been with me all day since I was in the Gambia, since I left the Gambia, with traumatizing Ben Manoko. So he brought me to do a lot of things that I wanted to do. I don't go out at night. But I don't do that. I stop that. So
I'm really
all those things
sorry to hear that.
So like how you living in a careful environment. You know, every day you la man so when you got incoming doko na stop, you know how it is. You know, you got the kabaru lamin to nyanta wo to our strong. You have to go and find for another job, and you know the transition was not easy. You know how Gambia is. You know how Gambia working is. The transition from even if you have 1 or 2 months with that doko, like, things get hard. So it was really a bad experience, but to us,
I'm
and
really sorry to hear
yeah,
that. So, but
yeah.
nadaje ko inilo experience be yemen soto, but you still continue to work in the media. Why did you still choose to do this work?
But this is a job. I think this is the only job I love in my life. I don't know. I still, yeah, I stay away for my family place. But later I came back. I'm grateful to him. At that time, I didn't call now point.
Pa-
Come and work
well,
with me. Pap Sen at
mental.
the point you were, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Point you were, I'm called now. He called me after independent, being independent close. That's the problem I went. He called me, come to my office. I came to the office. We sit down. I said, "Now I want you to work for me. You know, you're good. I know you're good, and I get it." He give me just to I come bonding on Dumal because I was down, so I come bonding and selling the money. He helped me, grow up a little bit. Yeah, I am someone. He gave me as a sport editor and the French column for I am the editor of the French column because I did French too. So he gave me that in that point. So it was good. It was good. So I pick up a little bit. I'm grateful for that, and the way I work for sometimes I left. I went to Paradise. I don't know employment Paradise FM too. I work for him for sometimes. That's how it. But still now the environment wasn't. I still been a little bit careful and other things. Always be mindful. Be mindful.
I think we may either nije wole mu wakiloti, wole mu sawaroti, because ni aje mbe nyini kaka watola. I also want to point out kaita ni mod fana nako to nyalla journalist olu kibatala kibar janjanalu wolle tajirinte ata katambi fana jama la gambe banko kam bari wo tajirinte anin tilimbale a nyawnya nyama inamanam pisal
No,
inamanam
never.
pisal inamanam bori inaone day for up to the point that ya jambe left nga kiba talal le kiba janjanal so le gambe banko kam men yalon ko itentente le ke niola kaje ko tonya e findi kaje ko de tilingo gambe banko ka. I think that is one message also that we need to send out to people. Kaitandiko, the media was very, very, very resilient. You know, janjam kiba talalu lotale num up until ya jambe bota Gambia. Ilotele kaje ko de la doko yake. Because ngajele ko biring independent jol botaje daily news fana natale daily news was very critical. Yes, forea news espanol beje, even though nga news padol sotel men yalon ko inate mbulungo faline inata ke molti men yalon ko mo safa fanko mansa kundala fa yeke nyame inata ke wala nyama bari nga dolu fana sotel men yalon ko they stayed the course. No, they made soko ela doko momenti yake banku doko la karola wole mo kaje ko ka tilingo nin tonya londi banko kam ka nyaton ko fananta ke konti boy barola. I think that is a very interesting story.
That
Now,
was
you very much indeed nga nyin karol soto jang mol bulu mbela fla ke nyin ka wolu dantanula de wo ko ansina kacha nyinta nga kumfa nga mo jang ikafo meye ko yaya m dabo ate mu bitilo fasala kanunte ba doleti ni manyina anana sojariya karande num fang so yaya ko atala miru mendi wala mu ko ni manyina sojariya kala no america banko kam bari yaya kam mem fo wala mu ko akatala miro to itani tumbul law teriya kono asutiyati la as part of counterintelligence, human intelligence, maybe abu wale gada kang ibulu. In hindsight, nisita ye koma fele, do you feel like that? Do you feel disappointed that mo me alon ko ite umute teridi yara fang wobe kule ke kam me alon ko ite fonse fano o konolun?
I believe that it could be very true. Yeah, because money abani bala, you get something from him. I think that could be something. Well, to Frank, come here for Yaman. bring a tumbul la kulong. I was very disappointed. Really disappointed. Yeah, I regret and that ni more teriyaki after that I regret. It only happened to tumbul case. So ni more teriyaki, whatever happened, I'm grateful for whatever. But tumbul ta bring along. I was very disappointed. I regret knowing tumbul. I would rain in tumbul. Yeah, because I'm a friend. I would thought he was my friend. Yeah, definitely. I would thought he was my friend, but he was not. It was, yeah, very disappointed. I regret being a friend with him. Yeah.
Namory, somebody also wants to ask, Iko Tumbulwe Mindole saying, I think we must have addressed that, but do you know where he is right now? Maybe if he's just joining us now.
No, Tumbul fought in 2004. Tumbul died. He died in 2004. Mama he died mysteriously. So I don't know what happened. But people many idea before I go, abolo photo from like a book. You know, like mom, you know, yeah. There's people that saw him before he died. He was like a governor, private RBT, the asthma private room or that way he died. He died with some I think that year some of high ranking officers died in the same year. I don't know what happened there. He have there's one guy, I don't know him, I forgot his name. Tumbul died, a couple of them. Musa Jame. Musa Jame. Anyway, Musa Jame, they all died in the same time. I don't know what happened. We're still there. Tumbul died soon. Yeah, some 20 years ago. 20 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, Abantaleke, because it was around the same year that Musa Jamme Fata, Jamal Kafmeko, Malia Mungu, because I remember Mali Jata Yininka Akuala, Mali Jata Muko, Ako, Molka, Mojamalo Memfoka, Nwolamuko, Aning Malia Mungu, they were competing for State Guard Battalion Dinungha, or something like that. So inata memmoy doluko isobitako it for no posin laban wara for posin laban something like that, but it was kind of like a power struggle in the mangol team.
I know Tumbul, somebody that saw Tumbul that told me Tumbul balo photo kabule. A photo was like kabole if I fall. So somebody that saw him before he dies told me that. Yeah. So that happened. Yeah.
That's
so he dies crazy.
Thank you very much, Namory. Mbeje la etentula ngala moy lalu jay ngetentu men ben jibe kan ani men ben lamay kan radio to gambe banko kan mol men yalon ko iben jibe kan internet to Facebook ni YouTube ngal be jay ngal tentu alla kafo maja Namory mbafule ko baraka bake yiwato men ka kafuma kacha betiata kono fanuta mbafule fananko we are really sorry for what you had to go through. You know, a balafa warta nuclear warata bake, definitely. A baraka bake. Thank you. Lamay lalu. Ngali jay ngali tentu. Lamay ronin jibero kang. Alama tilo to diala. Alama be tankala katanin katatola. Alama be tankala jongulal masi bola. Alama ay nyongo kana finti gambe banko kam. Ngamira fango manyan na sonna wala fango doti. Wanyon kusifa fintin kan gambe banko kam. Bari ala baraka Namory abaraka bake. Thank you very much indeed. Abaraka bake.